The Secret of the Silver-Winged Swan. Once upon a time, in a tranquil village nestled beside a shimmering lake, there lived a young girl named Amara. The village was known for its breathtaking beauty, with rolling green hills, fields of wild flowers, and a lake so clear it reflected the sky like a mirror. But the true wonder of the village was the silver-winged swan, a majestic creature said to possess magical powers. The swan was rarely seen, appearing only under the light of the full moon, and its presence was believed to bring good fortune to the village. Amara had always been fascinated by the swan. Every full moon, she would sit by the lake, her eyes scanning the water for a glimpse of its silver wings. Her grandmother, the village's storyteller, had told her tales of the swan's magic, how it could heal the sick, mend broken hearts, and even grant wishes. But there was one secret about the swan that no one knew, a secret that had been hidden for generations. One evening, as the full moon rose high in the sky, Amara sat by the lake, her heart filled with anticipation. The air was still, and the water sparkled like liquid silver. Suddenly, a soft ripple broke the surface of the lake, and the swan emerged, its feathers glistening in the moonlight. Amara's breath caught in her throat as she watched the swan glide gracefully across the water. But something was different this time. The swan's movements were slow and labored, and its silver wings seemed to flicker faintly, as if its light was fading. Amara's heart ached as she realized the swan was in pain. She stood up and approached the water's edge, her voice soft and gentle. "What's wrong?" she whispered. To her surprise, the swan turned its head and looked directly at her. Its eyes, deep and luminous, seemed to hold a world of sorrow. Then, in a voice that was both melodic and haunting, the swan spoke. "Amara," it said, "my magic is fading. The lake, once pure and full of life, is being poisoned by a darkness that grows stronger with each passing day. If it is not stopped, I will lose my power, and the village will lose its protector." Amara's heart raced. What can I do to help? The swan dipped its beak into the water and pulled out a single silver feather. "Take this feather and follow the stream that flows from the lake. It will lead you to the source of the darkness. But be warned, the journey will not be easy. You must face your deepest fears and uncover the truth that has been hidden for generations." Amara took the feather, its light warm and comforting in her hands. She knew she had to help the swan, not just for the village, but for the magic that had always filled her heart with wonder. She bid the swan farewell and set off along the stream, the feather glowing softly to guide her way. The stream led her deep into the forest, where the trees grew tall and the air was thick with the scent of moss and earth. As she walked, she began to hear whispers, faint and eerie, carried on the wind. The whispers grew louder, and soon she saw shadows moving among the trees, their forms shifting and writhing like smoke. "Amara," the shadows hissed, their voices cold and hollow. "Turn back. The forest is no place for you." Amara clutched the feather tightly, her breath quickening. "I won't turn back," she said firmly. "I have to save the swan and the village." The shadows lunged at her, their forms swirling around her like a storm. Amara raised the feather, and its light drove them back. But they were relentless. She ran, her feet pounding against the forest floor, the shadows close behind. Just as she thought she couldn't run any farther, she saw a faint glow ahead, a clearing bathed in silver light. She stumbled into the clearing, her heart racing, and saw a small ancient well at its center. The well was made of stone, its surface covered in moss and vines. But what caught Amara's attention was the dark, swirling water within it. The water was unlike anything she had ever seen. Black and oily, with a faint, sickly glow. She knew this was the source of the darkness. Amara approached the well, her heart pounding. She dipped the feather into the water, and its light began to flicker and fade. She knew she had to act quickly. She reached into her pocket and pulled out a small vial of clear water she had collected from the lake. Her grandmother had always told her that the lake's water was pure and full of life, and she hoped it would be enough to counteract the darkness. She poured the water into the well, and for a moment, nothing happened. Then, the water began to churn and bubble, the darkness swirling violently. Amara stepped back, her heart in her throat, as the water began to clear, its blackness fading away. The shadows around her howled in fury, their forms weakening as the light from the feather grew stronger. But just as she thought the darkness was gone, a figure emerged from the well. A woman with long, flowing hair and eyes as dark as the night. She was beautiful, but her beauty was cold and menacing, and Amara felt a chill run down her spine. "You cannot destroy me," the woman said, her voice like ice. "I am the embodiment of the village's hidden pain and sorrow. For generations, they have buried their secrets and fears, and I have fed on them. You cannot erase what they have tried so hard to forget." Amara's mind raced. She realized the woman was right. The darkness was not just in the well, but in the hearts of the villagers. She thought of the stories her grandmother had told her, of the struggles and sacrifices that had shaped the village. She knew she had to confront the truth, not just for the SWAN, but for the village itself. "You're right," Amara said, her voice steady. "The village has its secrets and its pain. But we also have hope and love, and that is stronger than any darkness." She held up the feather, its light shining brighter than ever, and began to sing. It was a song her grandmother had taught her, a song of hope and healing. As she sang, the light from the feather spread through the clearing, chasing away the shadows and filling the air with warmth. The woman's form began to waver, her cold beauty fading as the light grew stronger. She let out a final, piercing scream, and then she was gone, her darkness dissolved by the light. The clearing fell silent, the well now filled with clear, sparkling water. Amara knelt by the well, her breath coming in ragged gasps. The feather's light was steady now, its glow warm and comforting. She knew the darkness was gone, and the SWAN's magic was safe. As she made her way back to the village, the forest seemed brighter, the shadows gone. The stream flowed clear and pure, its water reflecting the moonlight like liquid silver. When she reached the lake, the SWAN was waiting for her, its silver wings glowing with renewed strength. "Thank you, Amara," the SWAN said, its voice filled with gratitude. "You have saved not just me, but the village as well. The darkness is gone, and the lake is pure once more." Amara smiled, her heart swelling with relief and pride. She had done it. She had uncovered the secret of the silver-winged SWAN and brought light back to the village. In the days that followed, the village flourished, its beauty and magic restored. The SWAN, its strength renewed, continued to appear under the light of the full moon, its presence a reminder of the power of hope and love. Amara, the girl who had faced her fears and uncovered the truth, became a legend in her own right. Her story was passed down through generations, a reminder that even in the darkest times, there is always a way to bring light back into the world. And so, the village by the lake thrived, its light a beacon of hope in the night. The silver-winged SWAN, once fading, now shone brighter than ever, and Amara, the girl who had saved it, continued to sit by the lake every full moon, her heart filled with wonder and gratitude. The end.